Hey, what's up? Fill you in on the project. So we're doing this 40-foot white oak desk, approximately 30 inches wide. And I'll just show you around. So it's going to be a big U-shaped desk with mitered corners around a room, down one wall, 20 feet down another wall, and down a third wall. So that's my left-hand piece, going to get mitered. I'll miter it later. These are the two middle slabs that'll go 20 feet, and then this is going to be what's left over, but we're going to do the slab last in case we have a problem with something else, because it's full size. It's 12 feet. So you guys, if you haven't seen the videos on router sledding these flat, you can watch that. If you look under that plane right there, see how flat they came out? They're ridiculously flat. Now you're going to have some movement, but so I started epoxy filling inclusions because it's going to be a desk. We don't want to have holes in it. The customer kind of left it up to us. We made a decision that we were going to fill the inclusions, and we did our first pour yesterday. We used Epoxy, and popping bubbles as I went. After I left last night, they gassed off quite a bit. There's still some bubbles, but these are all high, way high. Just to show you, these are all high. So what I'm going to do today is that I have to finish the pours. You see a place like this right here that went way low, and I'm going to clean them up, because what I want to do is I want to, when I finish the pours, like that right there where they drop down, I want to use as little as possible. So rather than making this mess right now worse, I want to get them cleaned up, sanded down, see how much I have to do, and do the minimum that I have to do to finish them. If you guys have ever done this before, you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get this epoxy off. If you use a random orbit sander, that's great, but it loads up sandpaper and takes forever. Now, if you're a joiner like me, you bring some hand planes with you and you plane them off. That's what I've always done. And I'm going to show you the difference between how I used to do it and what I just found today, because this is a game changer for me. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll plane off this spot right here really quick, just with a number 4. I assume this is sharp. Just grabbed it out of the till, but I'll show you what it takes to clean off this epoxy with a plane. Versus sanding it. Okay, so that's pretty much down to smooth now. Now I could go further, but I don't want to take any big gouges out of the wood, and I could sand it at this point, but this is pretty much smooth. Not everybody can do this, right? Not everybody's good with a plane. Not everybody's good with sharpening. Matter of fact, I'd say very few people are good with a plane and good at sharpening. To be able to plane this off this well. But I'm going to show you something that you can do. Check this out. You want to talk about game changer? Hopefully, God, I hope that was in view. Here's a game changer. This thing, I got this at Home Depot years ago. I've never touched it. It's a HDX scraper, and it's got what it says on here. Hopefully it's up in focus. Hold on. I'm trying to see through the thing. It's real bright in here. It's got fine scraping, rough scraping sides, and a fine scraping side. Let me show you what this does to this epoxy, because I said, oh my God, I'm going to try this thing. This is a pretty long section and was pretty thick. Watch this deal. Now, that's in 2 seconds. This was pretty thick. The thing I like about this the most, unlike a plane, if you're not really good with planes, and I am good with planes, but if you're not really good with planes, you get a chance of taking a big gouge out of your wood when you do this. You have no chance of taking a gouge out of wood with that, and it removes it fairly fast. And I'm doing this on the fine side. So this is still pretty thick right here. Let me clean the rest of that up. I'll do it real time with you, because right now I am 0 days old when I learned this. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, she's still taking a cut. Yeah. See how long it takes to get this big fat chunk of epoxy off here. This is pretty easy on you too. And that's it, guys. That's sandable right now. One little section right here. Take that bump right off. Take it right down to flat. I mean, that's incredible. This is a game changer for removing epoxy. Holy shit. Where are you looking now? Get you over the light a little bit, just let you watch me do this so you can see in real time what's going on. But this is a game changer for removing epoxy, guys. You're not going to tear out the wood, and just rips it right off, and it's like nothing. This is white oak, and it's taking oak too. So let me just show you that. So this line right here was thick, like that, when I started. I just got a vacuum over here so I can vacuum these up. I can't leave this stuff on the floor, but that went pretty quick. Now, you are going to have to learn to sharpen these. I think it's going to go dull at some point. You can rotate them until you run out of sides. I can sharpen this, but if you can't, for the cost of this thing, just buy a new one. When you waste it, just buy a new one. Give it to somebody like me to sharpen. Watch this right here. So I'm just taking off this little epoxy bubble right here, just one hand, and it's taking oak too. You could actually use this to smooth. Look at that. Like a cabinet scraper, but on steroids. Look at that. Friggin' game changer, guys. So, I had to get that on video. So I'm going to go to town, do one slab at a time. I'm going to clean this one all off. I've got templates for the miter. I'll mark this one up. See where else I need to pour epoxy. Run sand through the grits on it. I think I'm just going to go at them one at a time now. I got Epoxy over there. Stuff dries really, really clear. Virotech Epoxy. But yeah, so you see this line right here. You know, this was sandpaper. If you guys are doing that with sandpaper, forget about it. It'll take you forever. You'll go through sandpaper like hell. I'm not using any consumables here at all. If you can sharpen this, you're not using any consumables. So just wanted to show you that. And I'm going to go to town. I'll get some pics up later of the progress. Mea culpa, I made one mistake yesterday. So all my epoxy came out really clear, except for right here. I took a stick at one point and I pushed into this when it went down, and it really loaded this up with bubbles, and then the torch wouldn't pop them. So I'll have to see how I'm going to deal with that if it comes out clear. Like you can see, this one right here is like wicked clear. This is all still high, so all these bubbles are coming off, but the epoxy itself is really clear. Well, it's not the case here, and that was my mistake. I heated it too much, and I should have never tried to push it in. You know, it's like any finish. Put it on and leave it, and you're better off. than trying to fix it. Like polyurethane, never touch it. Put it down, walk away. So yeah, I'm going at it. And yeah, I mean, it took that whole line off in 1 minute. It's incredible. So that's where we're at. Take all the epoxy off this, run it through the grits, mark it up for the miter. Probably make my end cut here, kind of protecting my length right now, but that's it. Hope that helps out. Have a great day.